Welcome, all my viewers and followers, or those of you who have just stumbled on my channel, welcome. I am in 2 days from launching my program that I've been working on for over a year. I tried starting my business about a year and a half ago, I'd say. I wasn't really sure of my path, but when I did finally find my niche, I am delving into it full-heartedly. My program is based on shadow work, and a lot of people don't understand what shadow work is. I consider myself an emotional coach, even though I'm not doing one-to-one coaching. I have produced a program with support for those of you who have trouble controlling your emotions, triggered outbursts, not really understanding why you react so harshly to situations that really didn't warrant the reaction. You're damaging some of your relationships because of it. You can't seem to control your anger, your hurt, your emotions. You run off and cry in another room, or then you start beating yourself up thinking that there was something wrong with me. Why did I say that? That really wasn't warranted. These are the people I love. I really shouldn't say things like that, but they're all based on your shadows, and shadows are something that are starting to be formed from a child, from your upbringing, from your family, from your culture, from the rules that you had to abide by, or the way that you were treated. If you were abandoned, you didn't feel the love that you felt necessary, you weren't able to express your emotions as a child, or even a young adult, or even a youth. That is very When you're a youth, it's very important time of your life to shape how you're going to manage your emotions and your desires as you grow up. A lot of people tend to just go with what society expects, what their family expects, but they really don't dive deep into what they really truly want to do, what their true desire in life is. So they go along life just limping along with what society expects. And then in the background and behind, they have these feelings that they don't feel worthy, they don't feel heard, they feel rejected from love. They feel that some people feel that they have to perform in order to get uh, acceptance or love. Some love in families is sort of conditional, not really the love, but the acceptance. When they have deep emotions, they're shut down. They're told that they shouldn't cry. Oh, stop it. You're just a crybaby. Like those type of things are very hurtful to children and to youth especially. And a lot of the youth tend to be rebels because they've been so structured and guarded with rules, but it doesn't always fit everybody. Every single person is a different personality. Every single person has different desires, wants, and needs. Everybody needs love, unconditional love. Everybody needs to know that they're wanted and needed. And when that doesn't happen through your childhood or through your youth or even into your adulthood, it tends to eat away at your emotions. Even though you don't notice it, some people tend to be the person who just hides it away, says, oh no, that's just me, I'm just being too emotional, and just hides it deep, and then just goes about society's expectations of them or their family's expectations. That is what the shadows come from. That is what is deep down inside. Everybody has shadows, and shadows are not a terrible thing, but when they're built from hurt, and when they're built from lack of love, when they're built from lack of acknowledgement, or when they're built from needing to do something only if, then those shadows get buried deeply and you don't notice them. Because if you were going to go around noticing all of the shadow patterns, then you have to know how to deal with it. So if you don't know how to fix the shadows that are underneath, notice the shadows that you have and why those shadows developed. That is the beginning to emotional healing. And that is what my program is about. It's about noticing the shadows that are underneath. There's 18 archetype shadows with the shadow work program. Each one of them describes a specific type of need. But they describe a type of need and how those needs get twisted and come out and show themselves in your emotions. A lot of times it is from emotions that are not warranted for situations, if I can say it better than that. When you go through the 18 shadow archetypes, you will identify with definitely probably one, if not a couple. Some people have multiple types of shadow types, and they come out in different personality types. It doesn't mean that these types of shadows are always bad, because if you identify and notice what type of shadow that you are eliciting, then you can harness that knowledge and you can heal the shadow, the deep hurt that's under that shadow, and you can make that shadow, sort of like your superpower. So you can actually take the shadow and make it like, there's one called the judge. But if you judge too harshly, then it's a hurt part. It's controlling other people, judging other people. But if you use the judge type of archetype for good, then you can discern, you can judge well, to say it. Anyway, every single type of archetype has a good part about it. If you heal the hurt that's under the archetype of the shadow, then you can use the shadow to your benefit, and almost like your superpower, if you want to put it that way. So I am launching my For Shadow to Shine program. It is a 12-week self-paced learning platform that has learning as well as it's also got lessons and activities on a weekly basis. It is deeply involved with some meditation, some journaling, some looking back into your childhood about how you're feeling, about noticing your feelings in your body, noticing your reactions, and asking yourself why. Why did I do that? Why did I react like that? Why did I say that? If it was not in the moment, if it didn't really warrant that particular reaction, and then you start beating yourself up over it. You start to tell yourself that you're not good, you're, self-sabotage basically. So in order to come into your power of who you really are, what you really desire in life, and what your talents are, because everybody is different, everybody has different talents, everybody has different wants, needs, desires, and deeply, if they live with those values, those wants, desires, and needs, and do it in a healthy way, then you can live a much healthier life and not come from your shadow. You can use your shadow as a good thing in your life. I've gone through this. I knew nothing about shadow work about a year ago. I've learned a lot. I have delved deep into learning about, Carl Jung was the one, if anybody wants to go a little deeper, learning about shadow types. He was the one that discovered the shadow archetypes, and there's a lot of deep knowledge that's available to everybody around the shadow types. So my program walks you through your hurts, your how to step into your power, how to notice your archetype, notice why it's happening, dig out the shadows from underneath your life that happened and why, accept them and acknowledge them and let them flow through you, because the shadows, the emotional shadows that you've buried from your life, from all your little hurts from a child all the way up to an adult, when they sit there in your unconscious, they tend to affect your emotions, they tend to affect your reactions, and they affect how you relate to people. When you relate to people from your shadow, it's not from your true self, it's from the hurt that's underneath. Fix the hurt underneath, fix your shadows, acknowledge it. Nobody's perfect. Sure, we have slip-ups. I have slip-ups all the time, but at least I'm aware. I tend to use the pause, which is one of the first things of my steps if you have my guide from my emails. And if you haven't, you can sign up for my email list and you will get encouragement on a weekly basis in your email inbox that you can read about my program and about support and encouragement. Even if you don't sign up for my program right away, that's fine. You can still follow me and get some encouragement and some guidance to get through your emotional chaos that is causing you a lot of pain. Outbursts at your children. Trust me, I've been there. I have 2 grown children and 5 grandchildren, and I still have moments when my life was a disaster when my children were young. I was the mom who screamed at her kids every morning to get out of bed and yelled and yelled and yelled to get them to the bus stop. And I felt bad. And my children are wonderful. They have all grown up healthy, wonderful adults and parents themselves. And I'm very proud of both my children, and I think my grandchildren are wonderful. So I am now realizing that there's nothing wrong with me. I am who I am, and I'm not afraid of showing my face in public like I was for a long time. This YouTube thing was a very scary thing for me when I started it a year ago, and I was talking about flowers and sunsets and all that stuff, but I didn't really have a purpose. I just wanted to get over the fear of being in public, and now I am okay with that. I am launching my very first hosted Zoom webinar, and I hope that some of you can come, and I would love to see you there. It's free, and there's some information about my program, and there's some information about shadow work and about how it affects people's lives. Anyway, I hope that I've given you enough information to be interested in following me, and tell your friends. If you know anybody who has emotional outbursts and emotional troubles, tell them to look me up. My name is Linda May of Positivity Path, and my program is called From Shadow to Shine. For you go from your shadows that you are unaware of to shine, to be your true being, live in your power, live on who you truly are and what your true desires, your true values, and your true wants in life are, and you will live a wonderful life. Life is very short. I am in my mid-60s, and I really wish I had discovered this in my 40s. I spent years having emotional outbursts with my family, and I am not proud of any of it, trust me. But now I am much happier. I am handling my emotions in a much healthier way. And I want to teach everybody else this too, because why should I keep that to myself? I want everybody else out there knowing how to manage their own emotions and not just be the tyrant of emotional chaos that you can create sometimes, even though you really don't mean it. I've had many days of crying at night and just sobbing because I just felt so ashamed of myself. You beat yourself up. Don't do that anymore. You're powerful. You're wonderful as you are. You just have to learn emotional regulation and understand where your emotions are coming from. Linda May of Positivity Path, and I really hope that you can follow me, like, subscribe in YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't have too many people on my channel, but I would love to have subscribers. And go to my Instagram and my Facebook, and I also have LinkedIn. I'm new with LinkedIn. So anyway, Linda May from Positivity Path. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you in my webinar on Thursday, the 26th of February at 7 p.m. I can put the link in below in the comments, and you can register for my webinar. If you're just there for information or just there for fun to see how I did, that's wonderful too. I'm not a pushy salesperson. I really don't like sales. I was the lady that used to buy all the Girl Guide cookies because I did not want to go around and sell them to people. So, hey. Anyway, that's enough for me. Have a great day, and I really wish you all well in life and emotional regulation. Take care.